Okay, so far we have discussed about the Parkinsonism. We have seen what is Parkinson's disease. We have also elaborated various reasons, that is dopaminergic absence, and also we have seen various signs and symptoms. Today we are going to see the rest of the signs and symptoms in detail as much as possible. Yes, so we are going to discuss as much as possible and we'll see how we can treat Parkinsonism. Yes. So first and foremost, this is from the book Sullivan. You might be aware of the book itself. I have initially told you that we have to refer from the same book for all the neurological conditions that are given in the book. So this is page number 816 of 6th edition. These are the features means diagnostic features. જે features હોવા જ જોઈએ પછી આપણે કહી શકીએ કે yes, this is Parkinson's disease. So these are rigidity, bradykinesia, tremor, postural instability. Yes, four important terms. Yesterday we had described all the terms in detail. Clinical manifestations: motor performance, decreased torque production, that is muscles ability to produce enough amount of tension, muscles ability to produce enough amount of tension so that action is being produced. Torque is nothing but angular motion, you can say. एक motion જે એક particular angle માં થાય છે. If we consider an example of biceps, just giving an overview, elbow extension if you keep and you start moving it, yes, move the biceps, contract the biceps, the elbow will move through flexion. So at every point the torque produced is different. Why? Because at every point the angle changes, range of motion changes. Yes, so because of that there is decreased torque production. Second, patient feels fatigue. Most important significant feature that the patient will tell you, complain to you, is of fatigue. Third, there will be contractures and deformity. Contractures and deformity will be common in proximal joints. Why? Because of rigidity. Rigidity na lidhe prolonged period of time સુધી એકને એક position માં limb રહેશે, and because of that there will be irreversible changes which are termed as contractures or other kinds of deformities. Masked face. Yesterday we talked about basal ganglia. Basal ganglia is also responsible for your expressions, facial expressions. If it is not there, there will be mask-like face. Mask-like face means expressionless face. Koi expression face upar nahi rahi. Yes, so that is masked face. And micrographia. Yesterday we described. Micrographia is slowly and steadily when the patient is writing, the handwriting becomes smaller and smaller in size. That is micrographia. Micro means small, graphia means handwriting. Motor planning. Motor planning means the brain plans a movement and then it is executed. That motor planning, that is start hesitation, which is also termed as akinesia. Yesterday I demonstrated you the gait. Yes, gait માં આપણે વાત થઈ કે start કરવામાં જ difficulty હોય. So that is start hesitation. The patient hesitates to start. That is programming માં એટલું processing સરખું નથી, brain એટલું process જલ્દી કરી શકતો નથી કે એ process start થાય. Second, there will be freezing episodes. While the patient is walking, if he slows down, he'll freeze at that point. એકને એક જગ્યાએ ઊભા જ રહી જશે. That is also termed as freezing of gait. ચાલતા ચાલતા ઊભા રહી જાય and he'll freeze there. પછી movement જ નહીં કરી શકે. Yes, so that is also one of the features of Parkinson's disease. Also poverty of movement, that is incoordinated movement, you can say. Yes, poverty of movement, that is incoordinated movement. It is not coordinated, it is not skillful. Motor learning, slower learning rate and reduced efficiency. Why? Because the basal ganglia is affected, new information cannot be processed very easily. So the learning process for normal individual, compared to that, it will be much slower in Parkinson's disease. Increased context specificity of learning. So whenever you show something, you explain something to the patient, then of course the patient will understand. If they understand for what you are going to do this, say for example you are strengthening your lower limb muscles. Yes, lower limb strengthening આપી તમે muscles નું strengthening કરાવો છો, પણ એમાં વધારે patient ને ફેર નહીં પડે. But if you tell at the same time that I am doing this to improve your gait, કે gait માં આ muscles use થાય છે, આ muscles ને આ રીતે આપણે improve કરી છે through resisted exercise, that is why your gait will be improved. That is context specific training and learning, and that the patient will grasp much more easily. So he skillfully करશે. Procedural learning deficits for complex and sequential tasks. Yes, so what all processes are there, you break it into parts. Yes, say for example I have to lift a mobile placed right in front of me. Yes, so I have to move my shoulder, my elbow, and my wrist. This is the sequence. I have to do it all this together, but I can break it into sequences. Yes, and then I ask the patient to move the shoulder into flexion, keep it there, move the elbow into extension, keep it there, maneuver the wrist into pronation, and grasp the phone. Yes, so that is breaking the one pattern into various small patterns and asking the patient to perform. That will be much more easier for the patient because cognition will be also affected in Parkinson's disease as we talk about. કાલે જ વાત કરી કે it is not just movement જે slow થાય છે, thoughts પણ slow થઈ જશે. Execute કરવાની બધી જ પ્રોસેસ, મોટર પાવર બધો જ સ્લો થઈ જશે. બ્રેનની એક્ટિવિટીઝ બધી સ્લો થઈ ગઈ હશે. Yes, so if you break it, it will be easier for the patient to perform. Gait. Yesterday we had described the gait. So reduce stride length, increase step-to-step variability. Variability is change. Variability means change. So if step-to-step variability is more, gait will be uncoordinated and equilibrium or balance cannot be maintained. Yes, uneven steps leva mande patient, that is there are higher chances the patient will fall. Reduce speed of walking slowly, but later on trying to catch the center of gravity that will also known as entropulsion gait that we are going to see. Time speed vadi jase. Yes, it starts with slow walking, then might increase in the speed. Cadence, that is steps per minute, typically intact, may be reduced in advanced disease. Yes, so in later chronic stages it may be reduced, otherwise it can be normal. Cadence we are talked in gait in exercise therapy, so steps per minute or steps per unit of time. Increase time double limb support. So both limbs when they are contact, that is increased. Why? The patient is fearing fall. Yes, patient ne બીક લાગશે એટલે double limb support જેટલું થાય વધારે maintain કરશે instead of swing phase. So stance phase will be increased. Insufficient hip, knee, ankle flexion, shuffling steps, insufficient heel strike with increased forefoot loading. So because the patient is fearing falling, he will directly try to move the limb into foot flat. એટલે heel strike નો જે phase હોય એ reduce થઈ જશે. Yes, that is what. Just a second, let me just join in so I can demonstrate. Sir. Okay, I'm so sorry, I was on mute. Were you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you are able to. Fine. Okay, so the first thing, I'm so sorry, I was on mute, I was not aware. Okay. So first thing, double limb support. So when the patient is starting to walk, at that time, the patient tries to keep both the limbs as much as possible together on the floor. So that is double limb support is increased. Also, whenever there is a heel strike, the patient tries to move the heel and again it will directly go for foot flat. Why? Because in heel strike only one portion of the foot is in contact, decreasing the base of support. So directly when the patient tries to do foot flat, that will increase the base of support. So the patient feels relaxed and he can maintain the balance. After that, there is okay, reduced trunk rotation and decreased or absent arm swing. So arm swing when they are reduced, why they are reduced? Because of rigidity. So the patient's posture is altered and arm swings, that is the reciprocal movement with the left lower limb, that will be right upper limb extremity movement, and simultaneously vice versa. For right lower limb, there will be left flexion. Yes, so when the hip moves into flexion, opposite side shoulder moves into flexion. Same thing, it will be reduced. Why it will be reduced? Because of rigidity. Rigidity won't allow the movement at the shoulder joint. Rigidity is present at the proximal joint specifically. Yes, proximal joints affected क्या हसे? Patient आमने आमने से he will walk without arm swings. Yes, so this is typical sign of Parkinson's patient. Even on street, if the patient is walking, you can make it out. If you don't know him or her, then also you can say yes, this patient is having Parkinson's disease through the gait itself. Okay, next is fascinating gait, antropulsion gait, as we talked about. When the patient is walking, moving forward, slowly, first of all, he will not be able to start. Once he starts, he will not be able to stop. Yes, why? Because his center of gravity is in the anterior aspect, and he will try to catch his center of gravity. And in that process, he might fall forward. So that's pronounced antropulsion gait. Antropulsion. Antro means anteriorly, falling in anterior direction or changing center of gravity in anterior direction. That is antropulsion gait. Freezing of gait, as we talked about, there may be episodes of freezing. Even while the patient is walking, if the patient is walking slowly and steadily, he will be walking, no arm swings again. Yes, he will be walking this way, he might freeze at this point. He may try, you may see his limb is slightly moving, trying to move, but there will be no motion available. Yes, so that is freezing of gait. Freezing episode can also be during exercise. The patient may freeze while performing, say, for example, abduction. We are giving the dumbbell strengthening exercise, and at that time, simultaneously, he might freeze there. So it is very, very, you should know something that you might observe or you have to keep a control of. If you keep control on that thing, then for sure, if you are keeping a continuous watch on the patient, then for sure there will be no side effect. But if the patient is holding this for prolonged period of time, his muscles will get fatigued, and for the next 2 or 3 days, he will not be able to participate in the therapy or whatever treatment that you are providing. Just a second. Yes. Fine. Continuing with the gait. Freezing of gait, so as we described, freezing is very normal and very commonly found. So when there is freezing episode, the patient will not be able to continue any activity, may that be walking, may that be doing any specific activity. Difficulty in turning, increased steps per turn. So say for example, if you want to turn, you just want to pivot on the specific position. Let's say for example, in here I ask the patient to turn 360 degrees. Observe my legs. So what he will do, he will first of all be unsure in which direction to turn. He might turn from the left, he might turn from the right. Also, he might turn with very small steps. He will be very cautious. Why? Because torque production in the muscle is reduced, as well as he is trying to maintain his center of gravity within that base of support. And during turning, again, you cannot have both planes in the same time. Double its stance is reduced. So it will be a very slow process. Yes. So try from this you might learn that physical therapy also in the next semester you will be learning that never provide pivoting activities. Giving pivoting activities is aggravating the condition. That should not be done. Difficulty with dual tasking, simultaneous motor and or cognitive tasks. So, say for example, the patient is walking and you ask him some question, may that be related to history, may that be related to anything, may that be cognitive question, assessment part, anything. If you ask him once, he'll stop and reply to you. So, two activities, dual activities are not possible. What we call multitasking is not possible for that individual. He has to focus, his attention will always be selective. He'll select one stimuli, respond to that motor, and go to the other stimuli. Yes, what we know as walk and talk, that is not possible for Parkinson's patient. Right now, I can walk and I can explain you everything. Yes, but that is not possible for Parkinson's patients. Also difficulty with attention demands of complex environment. So if you are making the patient go to a complex environment, say for example from a normal floor, you make him go into a garden or make him go into a hill, the walking and the gait itself will be completely altered. He will not know how to place the foot so as to maintain the balance, and there are higher chances the patient will fall. Coming to posture, as we had already discussed, there will be kyphosis, thoracic posture will be kyphosis with forward head posture. Leaning of one side on tonal asymmetry. If there is tonal asymmetry, which is not that common, Parkinson, as we are going to see, one of the classification, Horner classification, states that the initially symptoms start with one direction. एक unilaterally symptoms start, say for example, right side is being affected. So when right side is being affected, at that time, most of the muscles will become weak on this side and they can become rigid on this side. Afterwards, this side muscles can get involved. Yes, so because of this tonal asymmetry, there may be this much involvement. So there are chances of scoliosis also if it starts from grade 1 or stage 1 of onychia. Sensation, paresthesia, pain and akaesthesia. Akaesthesia is nothing but tingling type of sensation. It will very specific to brain origin. Yes, kya nerve entrap nathi thati. There is no pain in the periphery, no nerve damage in the periphery. Still, the patient perceives or feels the pain. That is akaesthesia. Cognition, function and behavior, dementia is common. Yes, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson plus syndrome, Parkinson plus some other disease. So Alzheimer's is common. So dementia is common. We are going to see what is dementia, how dementia affects normal healthy individuals also in older age. After that, I'm so sorry, speech. Yeah, hypokinetic dysesthesia, hypokinetic, reduced pitch of the voice. Yes, hypokinetic dysesthesia and dysphagia. So difficulty in swallowing. All the activities will be difficult because there is incoordination of the muscles of the larynx, pharynx, and the all structures surrounding the mouth also. Dementia is there. Bradyphrenia is there, visuospatial defect, depression, and dysphoric mood. All these are psychological and perceptual disorders specifically. When the patient initially is diagnosed with Parkinson's, ત્યારે આ કઈ symptoms નહીં હોય. Dementia comes in later stages. Akaesthesia also comes in later stages. Everything is in later stages. Initially, the cardinal signs, in 4 માંથી 2 or 3 cardinal signs will be the first one from which you can easily diagnose, yes, this is Parkinson's disease patient. And of course, the gait. Because of postural instability, cardinal sign, there will be abnormalities of gait. Autonomic nervous system can get involved, not very frequently seen, but can get involved. Increased sweating, excessive sweating, abnormal sensation, seborrhea, siluria, constipation, urinary bladder dysfunction. All this are common, but not that you may see in all the patients. Cardiopulmonary function. Now, because of the posture of that individual this way, yes. So you can see apical lobe is hampered because of kyphosis. Expansion is not possible. Complete respiratory expansion is not possible. Lungs cannot expand completely, and because of that, lung volumes and capacities are altered. And because of this alteration, in later stages, patient dies mainly because of respiratory failure. Yes, so important thing to understand, because of this posture continuously, even for a normal individual, even if you are not having Parkinson's, you are hampering your lung capacities. Yes, do not sit in slouch posture. Yes, be as much as possible erect, as well as your shoulders should be completely in neutral position. Yes, should not be protracted. Okay, so these were the main cardinal features or clinical features we can say. Along with that, I will like to add on and your classification of disability in Parkinson's disease patient. So there are 5 stages in which we can divide the patient of Parkinson's disease. Most of them are stage 3 and 4 probably. Initially you see a neurophysician will see a patient even in stage 1, and may even be seeing the same patient up to stage 5. So as we have described, this is a progressive neurodegenerative disease. Progressive, yes, with time it gets worse. Neurodegenerative, the nerves are being degenerated. Basal ganglia affecting the whole body. So stage 1, minimal or absent unilateral if present. कोई पण symptoms नहीं जो हो तो unilateral. Yes, we talked about it. Starts with unilateral involvement. Stage 2, minimal bilateral or midline involvement. Why midline? Proximal joints will be affected. So midline axial skeleton will be first to be affected. Rigidity will come in first. Balance not impaired. Balance will be normal. Patient will be walking normally, but arm swing and all those features you may be able to see. Stage 3, 3 and 4 are common. So 3 is the uttermost important to understand. Impaired writing reflex, unsteadiness when turning or arising from the chair. We discussed in last lecture. It is very difficult to arise from the chair. Why? Your shoulder musculature as well as the hip musculature both need to be working in coordination, as well as rigidity will stop this movement. Whenever I am trying to move it, I have to have my normal function at the shoulder and the hip joint, all the musculatures. If that is not possible, that is stage 3. Some activities are restricted, but patient can live independently and continue some form of employment. So even if I am having Parkinson's today, I am having tremor, I am having rigidity, I can still continue to teach, I can still continue to do some work. Yes, so employment is normal. Balance will be impaired to an extent, but not completely. So that is stage 3. Stage 4, all symptoms present and severe. Yes, all the symptoms are present. Tremor is continuous. પેલા resting tremors આવે પછી continuous intentional tremors રહેશે. Bradykinesia or akinesia directly can happen. Also, there will be rigidity and postural instability. All these 4 are present cardinal. Along with that, other features are present. They are in severe form. That is stage 4. Standing and walking possible only with assistance. So you need a cane, you need some support. That is how you can move. So balance is affected most. And stage 5, last stage, that is confined to bed or wheelchair. So patient cannot get up from the wheelchair, cannot move around without assistance. Yes, so completely bedridden or with the help of a wheelchair. That is the only way the patient can survive. That is all classification of disability. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Let me just. Coming to the treatment part, pharmacological treatment we'll be discussing, and I guess it is short of. You don't need to go in depth. So, okay. Firstly, treatment of Parkinson. So there is no specific drug that can help cure Parkinson's disease. It is irreversible change. एक बार થઈ ગયું Parkinson's disease, patient is positive, patient has been diagnosed completely, no cure. The patient will have Parkinson's disease lifelong, 100%. Yes. So there is no cure currently existing. Treatment does not stop the progression of the disease, offers symptomatic relief, Now you will say કે ડોપામાઇન ઓછું થઈ ગયું છે, ડોપામાઇન આપણે બહારથી આપી દઈએ તો નોર્મલ થઈ જાય. બટ જ્યાં સુધી ડોપામાઇન નહોતું આવ્યું, જે ડેમેજ થઈ ગયું છે બેઝલ ગેંગલિયામાં, it is irreversible. Yes, that is why it is completely irreversible. Once damage has happened, you cannot help it. Can temporarily restore the functions, can enhance quality of life. Each individual responds to different treatments. So એક જ દવા બધાને લાગુ પડે એવું જરૂરી ના હોય. There are multiple drug classifications, or you can say classes of drugs which can be prescribed to the patient. Yes, which are way we are going to see. So mild symptoms may not require medication when prescribing drugs are needed. They help to manage the symptoms that cannot stop the progression of the disease. Yes, as a dopamine 2 mg લીધું, 6 months continuous patient feels good. After 6 months 2 mg will not be enough. Deplete વધારે dopamine થતું જાય છે. So for that you need higher doses with time. Yes, so continuous monitoring is also needed of doses. When a drug no longer is effective for the symptoms, another drug can be used, which is possible. Yes, there are many classes of drugs. There are directly we can give levodopa, we can give syndopa, we can give carbidopa. There are different names of the drugs which can be given in combination or individually. Optimal management is the best determined by specialists in the treatment. So those patients or an individual practitioner who is seeing only Parkinson's patient from all over a long period of time, many patients for many years, he will have expertise in deciding which drug is appropriate for a new patient. Yes, same way. If we see every day a new patient, Parkinson patient, તમે રોજ એક નવું Parkinson patient જુઓ, you will have a clear idea how and which exercise to apply frequently. Yes, and which is beneficial for that individual. So after 5 years, if you are seeing patient every day, one patient of Parkinson for 5 years, after 5 years when a new patient comes, you will just be this sure कि आज treatment આપવાની એનાથી 100% sure થઈ જશે. The same thing applies in medical field also. Now coming to medications. Note the words levodopa. Levodopa is same drug manufactured outside the body. Dopamine outside the body manufactured કરી એને કહેવાય levodopa. Levodopa cannot be absorbed or passes through the blood-brain barrier. Levodopa blood-brain barrier ને cross ના કરી શકે. તો એને carbidopa સાથે combine કરવાનું, which is termed as syndopa. Levodopa along with carbidopa is termed as syndopa. Syndopa is the best treatment for Parkinson's disease patient. Yes, quoted, golden words. Syndopa is the best treatment for Parkinson's disease patient initially. Afterwards, that might happen that patient is not responding and you might need to move to other classes of drugs. So levodopa converted to dopamine in the bone, which is responsible for transmitting signals in the brain aligned for normal movements. Often combined with carbidopa, or which is also termed as Sinemet or syndopa. Remember, levodopa plus carbidopa equals to syndopa. Syndopa is the gold standard given to all Parkinson's disease patients. Then comes COMT inhibitors. This blocks the action of an enzyme that breaks down dopamine. So naturally, if a neurotransmitter is being secreted from one end, it is absorbed from the other end. તો પછી એને ત્યાંથી lysis કરવામાં આવે, breakdown કરવામાં આવે. That enzyme is known as methyl transferase or catechol O methyl transferase. Yes, so this enzyme if we inhibit directly, જે dopamine ને breakdown કરે છે, તો dopamine વધારે રહેશે તો એની action વધારે આવશે. Yes, so that is the action of COMT inhibitors. Third, dopamine agonist. Yes, something that acts like dopamine. Dopamine naturally artificially બનાવતા એને આપણે levodopa કહેતા હતા. Something that acts like dopamine in the body, that is act like dopamine within the brain. Example, bromocriptine. Yes, so that is an example you can remember. Remember one or two example, that is fine. Ramiprezol is also one of the other examples that you can remember. Amantadine can also be given. There is no specific mechanism how it works, but may increase the brain's response to dopamine. ઓછા amount માં હશે brain માં dopamine, તો બી brain વધારે respond કરશે. Yes, that is the function of amantadine. Anticholinergics can also help. It exerts a relaxing effect on the body. Benzotropine, mesylate or prodocyclidine can be used as a anticholinergic which can help in Parkinson's disease patient. And selengeline, one of the important drugs that can help. There is no specific mechanism, but it is thought to inhibit breakdown of dopamine. Again, like COMT inhibitor, same thing does the selengeline. Yes, so 4 classes you should remember always. First, levodopa. Second, COMT inhibitors. These are the utmost important ones. Then dopamine agonist and selengenic. These four are utmost important. Afterwards comes anticholinergics and amantadine. Yes, so if you remember these six, that is more than enough. Okay. With this, yes, we are completing Parkinson's disease also. Parkinson's disease, specifically medications you can find in books also, but that will be in very brief. If I can show you. Okay. Just a second. Okay. If you can see again the same book, 819 page, Physical Rehabilitation, Susan B. O'Sullivan. You can see examples of and the drug class. So first is anticholinergic, second dopamine replacement, third dopamine agonist, and fourth is amantadine. Yes, so all these four are important. First, anticholinergics examples are given, average dose is given, and ADR are given, or adverse drug reaction or possible adverse effects are given. Don't need to remember the adverse drug reaction, that is fine, but you need to remember what are the examples and the drug class. If you remember that, that is completely fine. Levodopa, carbidopa together, they are given, and synarnib. They are the main gold standard given for all Parkinson's disease patient. Compulsory to all. Parkinson's disease diagnosed થશે એટલે patient ની ફાઇલમાં સિન્ડોપા લખેલું જ હશે. Syndopa again is a chemical that will be rebranded. Yes, in pharmacology you might have learned drug name and the company name are completely different. It is not the same thing. Yes, you are taking paracetamol, but taking paracetamol from a specific company gives its name. Yes, so that is the difference that you should understand. So this all are we are talking about are the chemicals, the contents. Yes, not the brand. Brand name is different compared to the drug name. Yes. Okay. Any doubts till now? Yes, any doubts in Parkinson's disease as a whole? Yes or no in the chat, everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please reply with yes or no in the chat so that we can know if you have any doubts. No doubt is a silly doubt. Yes, you can ask anything and everything regarding Parkinson, conserving to your neurology. Okay, fine, no doubts. Good, good, good. Okay. So we'll keep it till here. In the next lecture, we are going to start another new topic of neurology. Yes. Purva, have you taken the attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll keep it till here. We'll move and see another new condition, probably related to something pediatrics. Yes, and we'll see how we move forward. Yeah. Okay. By the time, hope you have a good day. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.